Lego Batman. He's not the hero we deserve. He's the hero we step on in our bare feet at 2 a.m. while going to the bathroom and subsequently wake up the whole house with fits of agonized swearing.
Well, if the formula works.
Of course it works. They license the entirety of human pop culture, slap it on a 10-cent plastic figure, leverage the licenses to sell the sets at $50 a pop, and then prop up an entire media arm to convince the world that reveling in brand recognition is the same thing as having an imagination. It's diabolical. There, but for the lack of venture capital, go I.
Speaking of cashing in, this is something like the 4,000th media adaptation of the Batman franchise, is it not?
You can fault Bruce Wayne for violent tendencies and borderline psychosis, but the man knew how to market flying gerbil imagery. Who knew the concept of obsessive rodent-themed vigilantism would be so universally embraced or so versatile? Ah, if only I'd had the foresight to run full steam with my comic book pitch for The Whistle Pig.
Oh yes, that was the cop.
He was a former police detective who accidentally ran over a groundhog during a car chase, forever binding his soul to the vengeful yet justice-craving spirit of the woodchuck. He was also granted various woodchuck powers, making him an excellent burrower and compelling him to hibernate 3 months out of the year.
Freely did the wine flow that evening.
People think Batman's all brooding and lonely and edgy, but you know what's the opposite of that? Bats? They're not lonely at all. They spend every night having an upside-down house party with hundreds of relatives, nibbling at girly snacks like grapes and organic peaches. Groundhogs, on the other hand, really do live their lives in isolation, and they frequently cause damage to crops and irrigation systems, giving them a real anti-hero quality.
True art is rarely appreciated in its time, brother.
When there's danger, whistle for the Whistle Pig.
Do you think we'll ever see the end of the Batman franchise?
Not in our lifetimes, brother. Lego tie-ins may seem like stretching a premise, but it's 2017. The old rules of taste and coherence no longer apply. If the past year has taught us nothing else, it's that if you scrape the bottom of the barrel hard enough, you'll eventually break through to a whole nother, more horrible barrel below.
So more Batman, then.
Not just more Batman, brother. Infinite Batman. Bunraku Batman. Genetically engineered bat mice. Bat boys found alive in caves. Batman-branded merchandise. Merchandise that witnesses its parents' murder and actually becomes Batman. Inspirational calendars that tell you you were the true Batman all along.
It doesn't end?
It can't end. Eons onward, when the Earth languishes under the insufficient light of a dying sun, and humanity is reduced to a horde of shriveled, degenerate Morlocks, Batman will live on, not as a comic or even a character, but as a guttural sound bereft of all intent or significance, a name repeated solely because the sound of it touches an ancient neural memory of something close to an emotion, even though it's actually just a ghostly remnant in the race consciousness of an ancestor having once had an extended, obnoxious argument about Batman versus Captain Kirk, waged in the comment section of a YouTube video about French bulldogs.
So he finally does become the hero we deserve.